Morning. This could be a 4-hour video. So I'm gonna chop it up and try and keep it short, which it can't happen because I've been shooting video all week and I just haven't been editing. We've been so busy. Yesterday I had, what did I have? 17,596 steps or something. I'll put it up on, I forget what it was. Dude, so we've been out here. Let me explain what I'm doing. Not only are we working on the lawns, not only our pump, while I was gone down at the beach house, the pump, irrigation pump failed, the intake, had to come back and rebuild that. All the fields are just loaded with grasses and even Bermuda grass. So I got to do some cutting and spraying and replanting of that. I'm reseeding some corn. The world's largest robot lawnmower. I'll show you the blades here in a second. They're absolutely gorgeous. See those? Aren't those beautiful? That, my friends, these are mower blades. There's 3 of them. This is a series, a video series I'm going to do, and it's more of an educational series. It's not a mower that a consumer would buy. It's a commercial model, but I figured I'd get one of these and bring it in because yesterday, I'll give you an example. I mean, we have to cut these lawns. I have a ton of lawns out here, and we have to cut these lawns 2 or 3 times a week. And you're talking, you know, 3.5 hours of sitting on a lawnmower when I got a whole list of stuff I can't get done. So yesterday, or day before yesterday, it's up in my warehouse. I sent it out and it cut around that whole warehouse. It cut all around the barn. It cut the big field. It cut the big field next to the cabin. Then it drove around and it cut around the shed over there. Then it drove all the way back and parked over here. And the battery was still at 70%. 40-inch cutting deck. It's going to be a cool series. And when I first got this thing, I'm going to warn you that I was not happy with it. And what I've done, just like on the limos, I've done some modifications. And man, it's cutting great now. So anyways, so I cut the fields down. I sprayed the fields with Grass Out Max. Grass Out Max is a product that, like these flowers over here, I had a bunch of grass in there. You can spray it on there and it'll kill the grass, but nothing broadleaf. So flowers, clover, radish, turnip, whatever you got, it'll kill the grass, but not the actual broadleaf plants. So I came out here, I hooked up my big UTV spreader, which has big arms on it that goes out 10 feet wide. And I sprayed all these fields after I cut it, and then I left it for about a day. Then I hooked up my subsoiler, and my subsoiler, we're basically a no-till operation here, and my subsoiler is just a hook that goes down in the ground and breaks hard pan and just leaves barely a noticeable line. So I did that, and then after I did the subsoiler, I went ahead, the subsoiler line you'll see right here, it leaves like an open dirt line, a little bit of an open dirt line. And so I actually went and walked all these fields, seeded every other one with corn, went back, did some soybean. Then I got my little hand spreader and I walked all these fields. I put out clover and alfalfa. Next month, I'm gonna put out some turnip. Dude, I was just absolutely exhausted. So I haven't had any time to edit videos. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy the suck. Life sucks sometimes. Yeah, well, let's enjoy the suck once in a while. So 2.5 days of non-stop work out here on these fields trying to beat the rain, and I did, except for the fertilizer. I need to get some nitrogen down on this corn. So guess what I'm doing this morning? I'm walking all these rows and putting it out by hand because I can't use my spreader because it's just going to plug up. I got to figure out which rows I need. So and I gotta apply this by hand because the clover hates nitrogen. It'll burn the clover, so this is all a hand spread. I just got to keep it where you can see I'm putting it right on that corn line. And this corn is not doing well because it did not get any nitrogen. So I did a little bit of spraying on it, but it wasn't enough. And I've already got, I mean, it's already starting to produce corn, but it's just all immature, so we'll see what happens. I was just going to do the upper field. Then I got looking at all these other fields. I basically had to cut down immature corn and kill off grass with clethadone. So I said, man, why don't I just go ahead and do? So upper field done, middle field done, and then I've got butternut squash out here, some tomatoes here, and I've got some decent corn out here, so I left that. But over in this area over here, I went ahead and ran a subsoiler here. If you are going to run one of these, I'll give you a little tip. When you get to the end of your line, stop, back up about a foot, and then raise your spike, and you'll end up having a nice clean lift. Otherwise, sometimes you'll have a bunch of debris on here and you get that. But man, this is fabulous. So as the water comes through here, I mean, it has to go into the ground here. So my plan is every other row, I'm gonna sprinkle corn and nitrogen and then run over it with my UTV and see if I can get some corn to grow up. And it's really not for producing corn, even though it will, it's more for cover. And then in between those rows, we plant turnip, clover, radish, and alfalfa. Tons of green for the deer. So this is kind of my last chance to do it. Amazon just delivered, well, actually US mail through Amazon. I just got some packages in, and some of it is purple top turnip and some of it is daikon radish, which is that it's this really big white radish. And I've got kind of muddy fields up there, and I've got more rain possible tonight before it stops. So now I'm thinking, okay, do I go out and put out the radish now too? So I'm gonna run up to the end of my driveway here. And I'm gonna go, he was nice enough to put it in a garbage bag, so I'm gonna go ahead and see what it is. So what is that cow doing out there? Man, there's a big mature cow in with the teenagers. Maybe not. Oh. I did want to stop and show you this. I meant to put this on video. I think I put it up on like TikTok or Instagram or something. We've had a severe drainage problem on this whole property. This whole property tears down. So it just drops and drops and drops and drops. And what ends up happening is all that water comes in here, hits the garden, floods chicken coops. It's been a nightmare when we get a real like 4 inches of rain in 1 hour type deal. We've had that before. And so I was gonna just put a trench in here, but I found a really good grading guy, and he said, look, the problem you have is the shape of the landscape, the shape of the land. He said, let's use the shape of the land. Let's put in a big culvert. So he started way up here, and it runs all the way down 230 feet. We actually put a big culvert in here. And then I had 17 tons of gravel, 57 come in and put in here. And let me tell you what, this thing is amazing. Absolutely no water can get past this. It's all got to go down here. He's really good on a skid steer. I'm good on a skid steer. He's really good on a skid steer. That's a big pile of topsoil that came out of here, so if I need that I can use that. But it runs all the way down. This is a good thing to do, is if you have a drainage problem, you don't have to do it this large. You can make something like this if you have a piece of property that has a big drainage problem. This culvert type thing is great. I mean, and it didn't take him long. I mean, he was out here maybe a couple hours, and it was less than me renting a skid steer myself. I think he charged me like $1,600 to do this whole project. And then it all runs down to this drainage, and that's a massive drainage area that runs for miles. So it's perfect. So yeah, I can't complain. This looks great. All right, let's go in here. Hi, girls. The girls are doing good. There's the new girls. The old girls are down over there. Everybody's happy. Look at this cucumber trellis, dude. This is crazy. I know we've pulled 100, 150 cucumbers off of here, and right now there's a bunch of them on here now too. But this is nuts. This is, look at this. That is nuts up under there. I've never had cucumbers survive this long. Matter of fact, I gotta get some of these yellow ones. I'm seeing some yellow ones, and if you leave the yellow ones on there, it's not good. I gotta go through here. These are kind of backup tomato plants, but I mean, look at all these tomatoes on here. I mean, there's 100 tomatoes sitting right there. Over in here, these tomato plants are all wet and hanging over right now, but there's another 150 tomatoes out here. Green peppers are doing really well. They think I'm gonna give them treats, so they're all gonna come running up. Anyways, I planted sunflower seeds over here. I always plant wildflowers. They're looking a little bit weak right now, but there's all these zinnias I always grow in here, full of butterflies and bees. But these are sunflower seeds. I just planted them about 4 weeks ago. Look at them. These will be really cool. So let me go out and inspect these fields. Let me see if I feel like, you know what? I need to put some clover down on this garden too. Man, it's 9 a.m. and I am sweating already. All right, so here's what I've got. I've got multiple. I've got the main screen. I've got the main metal screw-in screen. I've got an out hardware mesh. I've got a mesh trash can, and then I've got this bucket. So that'll sort of keep it off the bottom a little bit, and the water will come in and then into here, and then I have the holes. I have the holes, which I need to keep up like that. So we should be good to go. Now, the only problem is, I think I made it too long. Because if I look at my other one, I'm at about 20 feet. And I don't know, my head lift on my pump is pretty strong, but I don't want to make it 30 feet. I'm going to cut this section of pipe off. And I don't want to put another 10 feet of pipe out there. So I'm going to cut this off and glue that on the end there. All right, so she primed right up. You can sort of see the bucket sitting down there. It's about 8 inches under the water. Got the valve open here. And I'll be able to tell pretty quickly if we got better flow now. Yeah, see now that's going out and almost hitting the road over there. I got to make sure that all this corn gets water. What I probably need to do is I probably need to go put oil in that brand new pump now that I got a good thing on it, and go exchange the pumps. I think that's what I'm going to do, because I'm not running 100% on the water, which means fuel efficiency is probably down too. Okay, so it's at the end of the week. We have been busting our butt out here. I mean, ever since I got back from the beach house, I've been absolutely just going nuts trying to get everything done. And then a few days ago, I saw this rain pattern moving in, which is light misting rain. And I knew I had to get this done. I need to kill off the grass up in these fields, run the subsoiler, put down seeds, get everything going. And sure enough, it just, the past 2 days, that really paid off. The past 2 days, we've had that light drizzling rain where you get half an inch, then a pause for a few hours, another 1/4 of an inch. I mean, just perfect. And what's shocking, what truly is shocking, is I've got soybeans and corn. A lot of it's buried in the ground, but some of the stuff that's just sitting on the top, it's actually germinating. So I've got actual seed sprouting out with roots that long already. 2 days, roots that long on it. It's crazy. And you'd never think that stuff could germinate that quickly, but I mean, here's an example. I just pulled this one out. Look at that. That's crazy. So hopefully now I can calm down a little bit. Got things sort of under control. Walked up here. The baby turkeys are up here with the mom. I actually pulled up my Reolink camera, and I think I got them in the field over here. I've got hundreds and hundreds of deer coming through here every night. Now they stop at our corn feeders. We have corn and soybean in our feeders. They'll step there for about 5 minutes or so, but then they spend, I've got pictures, I've got 6 bucks lined up right here. There's a camera right here. I've got cameras all over. There's 6 nice bucks right here in here eating in this field. So the fields really attract these deer in here. It's crazy how many deer come through here every night. But yeah, the turkeys are coming out now. That's great. Corn's looking okay. Hopefully we'll have a 2nd generation corn come up. And I really plant the corn. This corn is actually sweet ambrosia. Hopefully I'll get some out of it that we can eat. But this corn is just dent corn, D-E-N-T, dent corn. It's field corn. So it's really, I'm growing it just for cover. So when hunting season comes up in about 90 days or so, whenever it is, there's actually be cover in here and they'll feel comfortable. And we actually cut in between the corn rows and to allow that greenery to come up. And the turkeys can come in here and feel comfortable. The deer come in here, they graze. And yeah, it's just overall a great situation. Chickens are waking up. So anyways, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I can start cranking out some videos again now that I'm kind of caught up on everything. But it has just been absolutely nuts. Doc.